Mr. Dixon? All right, you entered a plea to robbery and also a plea of true to the enhancements on November 6th.
That's correct, Your Honor.
Yes, this is taking a while
It
because
has.
people in jury trials and other things and witnesses unavailable. According to your plea bargain agreement, punishment is to be assessed at a cap of 15 years in the prison. There's a $2,000 fine. The state is opposed to your application for community supervision and opposed to your application for deferred adjudication. They're taking in consideration 2025 CR 001601 and 2025 CC 014159. Have both parties had a chance to review the PSI and TAP evaluation?
State has, Judge.
Yes, Your Honor.
Any objections to the PSI and TAP evaluation, state or defense?
No objection from the state.
No, Your Honor.
All right. So both parties agreed that witnesses would be allowed to appear by Zoom. So there are two witnesses by Zoom. One witness is for the defense and one witness is for the state. State, you're opposed. Are you ready to proceed?
We are ready to proceed, Judge.
All right, you may proceed.
Yes, Judge, we'll be calling Mr. Nakubula next to the stand.
All right, if you'll spell the name for the court reporter, please. All right, the state has called their first witness. Their witness is by Zoom. Any objection to the witness appearing by Zoom? Defense?
No, Your Honor.
State?
Not from the state, Judge.
All right, so the witness by Zoom on Samsung, can you please unmute?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, are you requesting that their video be shown or no?
No, Your Honor.
All right, could you raise your right hand for me, please?
Yes, ma'am.
Solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
You can lower your hand, state your name for the record.
Yes, ma'am. My hand is up.
All right, the court will note for the record that the state and the defense have previously tendered to the court reporter the witness's name and the spelling of that witness's name. And everyone is in agreement that the witness is who they state they are.
The state agrees, Judge.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, you may ask your question, state.
Mr. Nick, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
All right, how are you doing today, sir?
Good.
Good. Okay, let's go to the night of the robbery. Can you, piece by piece, tell me what happened that night?
Yeah, actually, I work on that store, like morning shift. I came like in early morning to open the store, and the guy walked to my car and was asking some money, or I don't know what he was asking. Then he was waiting there, so I locked my car and I went inside to the store, but he was outside the store and waiting there. So I was working inside to fix, some stuff and arrange the beer and stuff like that and put ice on it. And he knocked the window, like the door, to open the door for him. So I said, just wait. He said, just open the door.
Mr. Nick, just a quick second. The
Yes.
person that was knocking on the window, can you see what's going on in the courtroom right now?
All right,
Yeah.
let me ask you this. Do the
Yeah,
parties
this guy.
stipulate that the person that the witness is speaking about is Mr. Dixon?
We do, Your Honor.
All right.
Okay, thank you, Judge. All right, Mr. Nick, tell me what happened next?
Okay, so when he knocked the window, he said, open the door for me. So I opened the door for him. He said, I want to play the quarter machine. But he was not playing the quarter machine. He just started shaking the machine because there is some quarter and money in it. He started shaking that. I said, don't shake the machine. You need to put the quarter. He said, no. Okay. Then he went, then he walked to the other game machine and sat there. There was like $100, like a receipt. Somebody else was cashed that ticket, and he said, look, I won the $100. I said, look, this is not belong to you, that's belong to somebody else. He left it there. He said, okay. Then I know like he gonna do something. Then he walked to the lottery ticket and he start pulling the lottery ticket from the lottery slots, like 2, 3 ticket. Then I stop him. Don't take the lottery ticket. You need to pay for it. He said, no, I need to take it. I need it. I said, no. When I stop him, he push all the lottery ticket boxes, like push it and pick up the whole boxes and run with the lottery ticket. Then I run after him to get the lottery box from him. And I was telling him, give me the lottery box. He was not giving me. When I hold his lottery box, then he hit me on the face. And I was like bleeding, and my nose was bleeding, my face was bleeding, like the forehead. He hit me with the brace knuckle punch, something like that. I don't know. He has a medal on his finger.
Okay, so you were bleeding from your nose as well as the side of your head?
Not like a nose, but my nose hurt at the top of the bone. It was bleeding. Not like inside, but the top was bleeding and my forehead was bleeding. I have the picture and everything.
Okay.
And
Have you
the
had
cop
any-
will have the picture too.
Mr. Neck, have you had any ongoing injuries or ongoing pain from this incident?
Yes. So right now, as I say, like I have especially during cold weather, I have my nose is hurting and my forehead is hurting, and I'm taking like a Excedrin, and every time those pain, like the pain medication.
How long have you had this pain? Since the incident?
Yes.
Okay. And this is going to be a weird question, but I need you to answer honestly, Mr. Neck. Did you at any time try to solicit sexual relations from the defendant?
No. That's kind of I don't know why he said that. That's kind of silly accusing. To be honest with you, that's not true and that's not right.
Mr. Neck, did you do anything from your point of view that would provoke the defendant?
Say what, sir? I did not get it.
Did you do anything or say anything that would have provoked the defendant to assault you?
This kind of question, to be honest with you, I can't get it. So sorry, sir.
That's okay. That's okay.
Can you explain it like a little bit like basic?
Were you aggressive towards the defendant, or were you just trying to get the tickets back?
Oh, he needs to get a punishment. I'm not gonna forgive him because he messed up my life.
Thank you, Mr. Neck. We'll pass the witness.
Defense?
Mr. Nick, can you describe your assailant on that day?
Say what? Selling what?
Can you describe your assailant? What was he wearing?
The guy? Man. To be honest with you, I don't remember. Maybe like a black clothes or something like that. I cannot remember it, to be honest with you, what he was wearing.
Well,
But he's this guy. I see it.
how long was that person's hair?
It was long.
Were they wearing makeup?
I don't know. That's why I cannot remember it, to be honest with you. So I don't know. But hey, I remember like his hair was long. It was this guy.
Well, Mr. Nick, isn't it true that indeed you did try to solicit sex from Mr. Dixon on that day?
No. That's as I said, like that's kind of silly accusing that he did. But I said like he was asking money. He just came inside and stole the ticket and run on the ticket and take the ticket out. And how I'm gonna be doing this? This is kind of like a silly accusing. No, that's not true.
Mr. Nick, isn't it true that when he did go inside the store, you continued to harass him? You continued to ask for sexual favors? And that in retaliation, he took those tickets and left the store. You did have a physical altercation outside the store, correct?
No, look, inside this, it was, look, this is a kind of, as I said, this is a kind of silly accusing, he asked the money from outside and he was waiting in front of the store. And when I opened the door, he came inside and he was waiting on the chair again. They have a video, they have everything. If you guys can ask from my boss, they might have a video and they can share it with you if they have it right now. And they have a pictures. No, that was not true. He grabbed the ticket and I stopped to do not take the ticket. He said, no, I will take it. I said, no, you cannot take it. When I grabbed him, to take the ticket from him. He pushed the whole lottery box and take the whole lottery box and run with that one. So I run
Hey, Mr.
after him
Dick.
to take the lottery box from him. Then he hit
Mr.
me.
Dick,
Yes.
okay, you indicate that you've had medical issues since this incident. Did you go to an emergency room for any of these
No.
incidents?
No, the ambulance was there. They put bandages on me. They said it's kind of really deep, that they hit you. If it was too much bleeding, so go to the ER. They're gonna suture your wound. But but I
Mr.
did
Dick,
not go.
isn't it true that you refused medical attention at the scene?
No, I did not refuse it, but they put bandages on me, and I said, okay, if I need it, I will go to emergency. But I did not go on that day.
Mr. Dick, did you ever go to a doctor concerning your injuries on this particular incident?
No, I did not go to any doctor, but I have a
So-
headache, as I
So,
said,
Mr. Dick, it's really safe to say you have no documentation of any injury associated with this event, correct?
but I have a headache. As I said, I have a headache and nose pain. So I don't know. I probably see the doctor in the future, but I don't know right now. But as I said, I take like a pain medication. Every time when my head is hurting, my nose is hurting, I take pain medication.
Pass the witness, Your Honor.
State.
No further questions, Judge.
All right, is the witness excused or subject to recall?
We have the witness speaking.
Excuse, Judge.
All right, thank you, sir.
No problem, ma'am. Thank you.
All right, state, any other witnesses? Any witnesses?
I do, Your Honor. Call Dr. Joanne Murphy at this time.
All right, Dr. Murphy, can you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Oh, you're on mute.
There we go.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can.
We're good.
And your answer to my question?
Yes, and I did say I do.
All right, thank you. You can lower your hand if you'll state your name for the record.
My name is Joanne Murphy.
All right. Defense, you may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. Dr. Murphy, what do you do for a living?
I'm a psychologist.
Do you handle court-appointed criminal cases?
Yes, I do.
How many court-appointed criminal cases have you handled over the course of your career?
Well, certainly more than 100, maybe more than 200.
Okay. Your practice is general psychology then?
Yes, and forensic work, both criminal and civil, do a lot of family law work. And I see patients. I have a practice as well where I see people with difficulties.
Good. And Dr. Murphy, how long have you been practicing?
I've been licensed for over 50 years, first in Tennessee in 1975, and then in Texas since 1985.
All right, thank you. And Dr. Murphy, did you have a occasion to examine Clinton Dixon?
Yes, I did.
Okay. And did you prepare a report concerning Mr. Dixon?
Yes, I did.
And Your Honor, at this time, I've already provided a copy of that to the court through electronic filing. Has the court had a chance to examine that?
I actually have not received that. Do you have a copy for me?
I do, Judge. Do you want me to mark that and make it a part of the record?
If you wish to. Otherwise, I'll just take judicial notice of it if there's no objection, and I'll review it.
Okay.
No objection from the state.
Then we'll just do it in that fashion.
All right.
Dr. Murphy, did you have to have more than one session with Mr. Dixon?
Yes.
What was your impression of his history?
My first impression of
Well,
his-
no, your impressions of his history. What did you think of his history?
What did I think of his what?
His history.
Oh,
Let me break it down. What did you think of his family history?
that he had a very difficult early and growing up. His parents were pretty much not in the picture. He was bounced from parent to parent, and then most of his life reared by a grandmother who was at times pretty nurturing and also at times pretty abusive. There was a lot of physical abuse from both parents and from this grandmother, who also could be a source of comfort. And when he misbehaved, dealt with him very severely.
With respect to his biological parents, can you opine about their involvement in his life?
It was off and on. He would sometimes live with a parent, but it almost always resulted in going back to grandmother at some point.
Were the parents homeless?
Yes, at times.
Based upon your evaluation of Mr. Dixon, did he receive any adequate supervision as a child from his parents?
No,
Did Mr. Dixon have any problems with the juvenile system?
yes,
Do you think that was due primarily to lack of parental supervision?
and also ADHD, untreated, undiagnosed, probably.
Okay. Now, when you talked to him, did you discover that he might have had PTSD also?
Yes.
Where do you think the PTSD extended from?
Well, he was pretty much always in trouble. He was in trouble at school. He would be expelled. He would be in trouble at home, and a lot of physical abuse. And then, of course, at age 15, he is certified as an adult and sent to TDC.
How long did he stay in TDC?
A long time.
15 years?
I don't remember precisely how many years, but I know he was transferred from one TDC to another. He was out for a short period of time and then was incarcerated again.
Did he have any attempts at suicide while at TDC?
Yes.
Do you remember how many, or was it just multiple?
I don't remember how many.
Okay. Did he get a GED while he was at TDC?
Please repeat.
Did he get any education while he was at TDC?
No. And he had finished the 8th grade.
Okay.
Right, and I'm so sorry to interrupt. And this is a question that I have. I hope nobody has any objections to me
Go ahead.
asking defense counsel, since I'm trying to make a decision on what to do in this case. So are you saying that he was sent to prison when he was 15? And I read the report that you gave me and I reviewed the PSI. So you're saying he was sent to prison at 15 and he did 15 years and
That's
did the
correct.
entire 15 years.
He did.
So that would mean 15 plus 15 is 30.
That's correct.
So then, and this is alleged to have been committed. Well, not alleged. This offense was committed when he was 31 or 32.
That's correct, Your Honor.
Okay. I'm just trying to get the dates in my mind. All right.
Would you like me to proceed now?
Yes.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor. Okay, so Dr. Murphy, did he pick up any other mental health issues while in custody for that 15-year period?
I don't have any records from his TDC or anything like that. So I don't know.
Okay, was he sexually abused while he was in custody?
Yes.
Did that only happen once, or was it multiple occasions?
It was continuous.
Did, from examining him, did you determine whether he got any mental health therapy while he was in custody?
None. When he reported this, he was transferred to another unit. The sexual abuse continued. It was giving oral sex and receiving anal sex. And it was daily, weekly. It was continuous.
Was his appearance as that of a male or female while he was in custody with the state of Texas?
Well, as he entered to this date, Mr. Dixon has not had any consensual sexual activity. He didn't enter TDC feeling that he was homosexual, but he now, I guess, would consider himself transsexual, and believes that his identity should be as a female because he's had 15 years of continuous sexual activity while incarcerated.
Judge, Dr. Murphy, have you ever heard of the term girly boy?
Yes,
Does that apply to Mr. Dixon?
not to my knowledge. I mean, he was acting out, he was aggressive, he would get in trouble. I don't see anything or have heard anything that he was a girly boy.
With respect to your conclusions on Mr. Dixon, could you tell the court what you think should happen with him?
I think this is a horrible case, and I don't know. This is a young man who has received no appropriate care throughout his life. He spent more time in prison than out. I think the history is horrible. He's had drug and alcohol problems. He's had no treatment for that. He's had no treatment for attention deficit hyperactive disorder. And now we have a gender issue here. I just think this is horrible.
Dr. Murphy, do you think he needs mental health treatment?
Absolutely.
Do you think he needs drug treatment?
Absolutely.
Do you think he needs education?
Absolutely.
When you tested him, what level of education do you think he was at?
I didn't do academics on him, although his cognitive functioning was in the somewhat below average range, but you've got to take into consideration that education ended at 8th grade. So he wouldn't have had the opportunity to have attained higher cognitive skills.
Dr. Murphy, do you think it's in the best interest of society that he receive a probation program?
This man is going to need to be supervised, clearly. But I think what has happened to his history is absolutely horrendous.
Judge, I'll pass the witness.
A
State?
few questions, Chair. Dr. Murphy, you said that the defendant would need to be supervised.
I'm having a little bit of trouble hearing you. Could you speak a
I'm so
little
sorry.
louder, please?
I'm so sorry. Doctor, you said that the defendant would need to be supervised. What are you basing that on?
His history.
Do you think, while talking to the defendant, did you review any of his previous disciplinary history while incarcerated?
I reviewed the criminal history of Mr. Dixon, starting from 9/21/24 to October 25. So I'm aware of the testimony about the lottery tickets, the stolen vehicle. I'm aware of that reported history.
Okay, thank you, Doctor. I'm sure, Doctor, you're familiar with oppositional defiant disorder?
I'm sorry, I'm still having trouble hearing you.
Said, are you familiar with oppositional defiance disorder?
Yes, I am.
Did you receive any indications or any presenting by the defendant that he may have some kind of oppositional defiant disorder?
Well, when you have unmedicated ADHD, you're going to have symptoms that are similar to oppositional defiant disorder. And it may be hard to separate what is what. But certainly there were times that his behavior had some characteristics of oppositional defiant disorder.
Thank you, doctor. Now, last question I'll ask you. Probation is going to require the defendant to attend classes, make meetings, pretty much keep to the rules and abide by a very tight schedule. Do you believe that he would be successful and be able to abide by all the rules of probation?
Only if he has stable living and stable support
Okay.
in his community.
Thank you so much, doctor. I appreciate your answer. We'll pass the witness, Judge.
Dr. Murphy, based upon what you know about Mr. Dixon, well, let me back up. Dr. Murphy, can you explain to the court what a triggering event is?
Yes, it's an event that triggers some previous trauma.
For instance, if I had previously been addicted to cocaine and I walked into a room with cocaine, would that be a triggering event?
It would, very likely.
If I have been previously the victim of sexual abuse and someone attempts to solicit me for sex, is that a triggering event?
Very, very likely.
Thank you, Your Honor. Pass the witness.
No further questions, Judge.
All right, any other witnesses?
No other witnesses for the defense, Your Honor.
All right. So this is, and no witnesses for the state.
No, we had our one sole witness.
All right, this is what I'm gonna tell the parties. One, this is gonna be something that I'm gonna need to think about for like 15 or 20 minutes, and I will tell you what my thoughts are, and then you all can give me your arguments and maybe address the thoughts that the court is having. Before me, I have somebody who went to prison at 15. And I keep telling people things happen in prison and people think I have some personal control over whether or not you're just allowed to do your time and nobody's going to bother you. And I keep telling people rape and everything else happens at a prison. So I'm considering the fact that he's 15 years old. He gets sent to prison and he does the full 15. Now, I may be wrong. And if I'm wrong, let me know I'm wrong and I won't even consider it. But when usually, from my experience as a defense attorney, when you do the whole 15 years, either one or two things are happening. Either you're getting in trouble at the prison. Maybe it's your fault. Maybe it's not your fault. Or either you have a complainant who comes to prison every time and says, do not give this person parole. And then I'm looking at the fact that he's a product of CPS, which I always tell everybody, the government does not raise children very well. CPS workers are overworked, underpaid. So these are some things that I need to think about when I'm considering all of this, because Mr. Dixon, I look at the entire life of a person, not just the incident, because if you just look at the incident, then it's an easy decision. And I'm also looking at the fact that for some reason, his name is Clinton Dixon. Then he has another sibling that they decided, some father, I guess, who thought, hey, I'm a great dad. Let me name this other child Clinton Dixon as well. So if y'all can formulate your thoughts on that, while I think about a few things, and y'all can come back at 10:30 and I will have made a decision.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Thank you, Dr. Murphy, for giving me some insights.
Thank you, Dr.
Judge.
Murphy.
Have a good day.
Thank you, you too. We're back on the record in 2024 CR 012476, State versus Clinton Dixon. Can I have parties announce?
Robert Featherston representing Mr. Dixon.
And you're Mr. Dixon, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Mr. Dixon, I've had a chance to hear hear testimony from all parties. And what I can tell you all, my issues and what I'm going to do And I'm going to give you two choices. There are no other choices. Don't ask me for any other choice because these are your only two choices. Number one, someone who has child protective services history, the abuse that he's had from his family. That's why he was in CPS care. And I understand that CPS workers are overworked, underpaid, and they don't have time to go out and visit everybody, but their jobs are so important because a child could die if they don't do certain things, right? And then I understand that when he is 15 years old, he's certified as an adult. And that's a person who's certified as adult, sent to prison for 15 years. And all that entails, and I keep telling people, prison, it would be so great if you go to prison and everybody left you alone. Everybody's there to be rehabilitated, but sometimes that doesn't happen. Sometimes inmates get killed by other inmates in prison. Sometimes inmates get raped by other inmates in prison. And sometimes when all of this happens, nobody wants to talk because they'll be labeled a snitch and they're still in the same environment that they're in. So I'm taking all of that into consideration. So these are your choices. Don't ask me for any other choice because there's no other choice for you. One, I'll grant your application for deferred adjudication. And let me just tell you why I would grant that. With a deferred adjudication, which I've already told you and I've told your attorney before, if you were unsuccessful, you're looking at 99 years or life sentence. Or I will deny your application and I will sentence you to 6 years in the prison. And what I can tell you is I will be following the recommendations that are in the evaluation, which is saying that he is to go to SafeP. And when he is released from SafeP, he's going to be on full GPS unless he shows the court that he has employment, and that GPS will be there to protect the community. And we will see about his receiving mental health treatment evaluations to see if DDRF is appropriate for him or not. But either way, he's either going to be doing the time at the prison, which you can do that, or you'll be on deferred adjudication. Do you need to speak to your attorney about that?
To take the probation.
All right. Thank you, State.
Of course, yes.
Okay. And State, is there any restitution that is owed?
Judge, not to my knowledge, but I would have to talk to the thing, but.
All right. So what we'll do is we'll also set it for a restitution hearing in 30 days. Can I have a 30-day hearing for restitution?
March 16th.
All right. March 16th, that'll be the restitution hearing. So the court is going to sentence you to 10 years deferred adjudication. In probation, see maybe if felony drug court would accept him, because I see the cocaine use and meth use started at 11. Take in consideration 2025 CR 001601, 2025 CC 014159. There's a $2,000 fine that will be probated. There's going to be 300 hours of community service restitution. I'm going to require daily sober support meetings. I think he's going to need a lot of structure.
He is, Judge.
And there'll be an hour deducted for every sober support meeting completed from his community service restitution. And probation with regards to the GPS, of course, if he has employment or he has to report, he's allowed to do that. Probation, is there anything else?
Judge, sorry, the mental health caseload you said upon release, right?
Oh, I'm sorry. Let me put on my glasses so I can hear. Yes.
The mental health caseload upon release.
Yes.
Okay, nothing else said.
Thank you.
And Judge, we would also ask for a no contact order be in place with the.
All right. There's to be no contact with the complainant.
And also with the arrest of.
Yes. Let me find that. And with, that's 7150 San Pedro Avenue, 78216. And Mr. Dixon, how far did you go in school? All right. So you're going to need to obtain your GED or some type of trade certification, something to help him with his employment abilities.
May I address the court, Your Honor?
Yes.
Judge, his reading level is at third grade.
Okay.
He does need to work on his GED. If that program is available while he's in custody, I'd recommend that the court consider adding that as a condition.
Okay.
Judge, we broke this man.
Mhm.
Society broke him. If the court would consider a very high form of supervision for him.
Yes.
Also, the court might consider maybe monthly or bi-monthly status checks with the court to find out where he's going.
All right. And will you remain on the case?
I will, Your Honor.
All right. Ms. Abrams, upon his release from Safe P or felony, if he's in felony drug court, they're going to keep very good track of him. If he's not in felony drug court, then what I'll do, and I've done this before, where have them come in every 3 weeks and we lessen it the better that they do. But no, I would appreciate it if you would stay on it because I do not have the capacity to keep track of every case, but we can, if we're able to set it for status updates, then I will do it. We've done it before.
I appreciate that, Your Honor. If he does get transferred to drug court, maybe that won't be necessary.
Mhm.
However, I'm certainly willing to go to drug court for status conferences also.
Oh, yes, if you would do that, and if you would get in touch with a felony drug court to let them know what his issues are, and they have a dual diagnosis and they'll address all of those issues.
Thank you.
All right, and so then we are coming back on, what day was that was it March? All right, so we're coming back on March 16th to see if there's any restitution. All right, is there anything else?
I thank the court for its time.
All right, did you review the documented, I'm sorry, is there anything else that you need from the court?
No, ma'am.
All right, so this is what I can tell you about obtaining the GED. I teach at UTSA, right? And I try to give them tests that are part of their skill set. So sometimes it's multiple choice, sometimes it's essays, sometimes it's true false. I understand that sometimes people are not good test takers. So whether or not they successfully complete the GED, it really doesn't tell what they know. So if there is an issue with your completing the GED, your attorney will let us know. That's why I said GED or some type of trade school certification, because you need to work on your employment ability or ability to obtain employment, okay? All right, did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it?
Yes, ma'am, then I cannot appeal the decision.
No, because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we can go off the record. Here's the thing, in this court, to be successful on probation, communication is key. If there's an issue, you need to let your probation officer know about it. Mr. Featherston is going to continue to stay on your case. If you feel they're not addressing it, you or Mr. Featherston can come back and address it with the court. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, and we're off the record. Here's the thing. Tattoos. No more face tattoos. And the reason why is because people are like books, right? And when I go into the bookstore and I'm looking at the books, the first thing that attracts me is the cover, because you're like, that's an interesting cover. And then you'll open up and read it. Well, sometimes for employment, when they see face tattoos, they think this is a book I don't want to read. So they don't even really consider you for employment. So stop the face tattoos. All right. And then at some point in your life, I understand you had bad parents, maybe child protective service didn't do what they needed to do. Bad things happen in prison. But at some point, your decisions, they're going to start being 100% your decisions. You can't keep, saying, I'm doing this because this happened to me or that happened to me. And I'm giving you all the tools that I have available to help you become who you were always meant to be. All right. Good luck to you. Okay.
My uncle said he seen you at Papa Do's not too long ago.
All right, let me just tell you, crab fingers at Pop